political parties.
That's what I'm saying.
But she's also requesting you to do your returns.
We have done our returns. In fact, 3 weeks ago.
Why don't you take her to court?
Now that's for another day. The other day, the auditors came to our party, and you know nowadays political parties are also audited by National Audit Office, because we are receiving public funds. And I can assure you that among all the political parties that are known in Kenya, ODM was given the best clean of a record in terms of how we have managed and kept records for our finances. Ask the other political parties the reports they got from the National Audit Office, and you will know that ODM is really a party on its own in terms of management of our activities and how we run our events.
There's somebody who's a bit concerned about the elections, and this is Ken Mungai from Maimai, who says the ODM elections are not genuine, they are full of dictatorship and hypocrisy.
That's his opinion, but all I can say is that people have preset minds. But if anyone wants to care to know what goes on, we shall have an opportunity, and we are trying to provide for between 100 and 150 observers who will be accredited by the National Executive Committee of ODM to attend and be able to see what we do in elections. And they will realize and for themselves that this election is not what many people think. ODM is a very, very open party. We operate within the laws that we have, the laws of the land and our own constitution, and we are actually democratic. I don't know why people feel we are not democratic. We are very democratic, only that people fear some individuals in terms of the capacities they wield in terms of mobilizing the people to be able to support their cause. But we are saying anybody can, including that Mungai, if he is a member of ODM and he is a delegate in the National Delegates Convention, he can pick any form for any position, and he will be able to give us a clean bill of health when the election is over.
All right. There's another also a concern here. Of course, the elections, in fact, the face of ODM, there has been talk that there needs to be a generational change to a great extent. Sir Nixon Dugire from Kindaruma says, even though it's Raila's right to defend his seat, would you, given a chance, advise that he steps down for a younger leader?
From where I sit, I don't think really it's a big issue as to whether Raila should be told to step down or not. He has made it very, in many occasions, that it is up to the ODM members, if they feel they still need him in terms of providing leadership and guidance. Of course, you cannot underestimate the level of experience that he has been able to get all his life through a political career. And he's not refusing anything. He's saying the law allows him. Number two, the people who will determine whether he continues or not are the delegates, and the delegates will have their say on the date. So for me, I think it would be utterly unfair to try and age out any of the individuals that may be interested for any positions purely because you think they are aging up, or you think they are old, or others should get a free ride because you think they are young. I believe that everyone has a clean chance to be able to take part in any level of our party leadership.
Can you tell us which candidates have applied for the post of Secretary General?
We have one, Agnes Zani, Elizabeth Ongoro, I think Ababu Namwamba. We also have Ken Obura, having expressed, he gave me a call yesterday, I think he could be paying up today. We also have had talks of John Mbadi. Yeah, but you see, we still have time for them to be able to make up their mind. It's only after 27th that I can tell you firmly that so and so are the candidates who have applied for the position of a Secretary General. Yeah. We also know that, at least for now, that the outgoing Secretary General will not be defending his seat. So the whole hula baloo about maybe Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, who has really served the party very well, is no longer an issue. So I think that shows that ODM is open. That shows how open these elections are, and people should come up. Even the young should come and take the position. For example, the position I'm holding as the executive director, which is an ex-officio position within the National Executive Committee, I consider myself youthful. I may not say youth, but I consider myself youthful. If you look at the average age of those who have applied or shown interest in the Secretary General position, they are averagely youthful. So I think the party is just finding its own place in terms of where do we need what experience and where do we need which energy.
Is there any significance in the fact that you mentioned Agnes Zani, Dr. Zani first?
There's no significance.
She has been mentioned as one of people that that seat is being reserved for.
No, there are no reservations. In fact, we expect the Coast region to come out with we have allowed them to caucus. Regions are going to caucus. They will target 1 or 2 positions, and they go for those positions. What you asked me was who has expressed interest.
And you mentioned her first.
And I mentioned I could have mentioned her last. There's no difference.
Yeah.
Right. There has been talk that top leaders, especially from the Rift Valley, are not really warming up to the elections. Is that a true assessment, especially looking at former Tinderet Member of Parliament, Henry Koski? Has he spoken anything about...
former chairman.
All I know is that Kenyans are very interesting people, including you here. At times you want people to exit, at times you still want them to be around. So there is an opportunity for Henry Koski, for example, to defend his seat. And it's in the open. We are still waiting. The 27th deadline has not come. So we do not know whether he's going to express interest to retain his seat, or he will want to go for another seat, or alternatively, he will also take a break. Number 2 is that Rift Valley, as you know, and especially the Kalenjin community, is also undergoing its own transition. If you remember, when President Moi exited, and then we had a kind of a gap, and that's how some of our leaders have been able to grow into the structures that we have now. So within also ODM, we have a lot of young interests which are going around. For example, this morning I got a call from the former Managing Director for Agricultural Development Corporation, Mr. Kirwa, and he is interested in the position of the chair. And is fairly a young professional.
Kiro, not him. You mean Kiro, not the former minister, brother?
No. The one who was in charge of the agricultural development.
Yeah, that's Kiro's brother.
No, they are not brothers.
They are not brothers.
They are not brothers.
Okay.
They just share a name. Yeah. So, and I can tell you, yesterday we had Mr. Menjo, who is also a very ardent supporter of ODM, expressing interest. We have a Robert Kemboy. We have a Chep Kwany from Bomet, who gunned for Bomet Central Parliamentary seat. So we have people. We have a lady called Alice Kering from Nakuru County, gunning for a big position. So it is, what I can say is that Rift Valley is also seeing an emergence of a new leadership. I would not necessarily say young leadership, but new leadership. And that should not worry anybody. The party is very strong. In my position also, is not a small position for the party, and representing the Rift Valley as well, in the interest, in the national hierarchy of the party. It shows you that we are actually, that is our next hunting ground for us to get the votes that will be able to make us cross the line. We must be able to benefit from the old alliances that we have had.
What kind of elections are you going to have?
Secret ballot.
Have you, and how are you preparing the secret ballot system?
Yes,
the printing and the preparation of that.
We will do that.
Affair.
No, it's not tedious. Mind you, this is only 26 positions. We will attract 1 or 2 or 3 maximum candidates each. And I've told you, caucusing is something that is still going on. So we may end up actually with fewer positions to be able to go into direct voting, because we presume that some agreements, as time goes by, may be arrived at. I'm not saying will be arrived, but may be arrived at, in the sense that when regions decide they want to go for which positions and they agree with the other regions, then we will be able to see probably a different situation. It will be much easier for us to conduct the election, I can assure you.
So what is the deadline? When are you printing the ballot paper?
After 27th, when we close the application, then the National Election Board and the Secretariat of the party can be able to work on the other logistics. We still have time. You realize this time around we have prepared quite early, and therefore I know it will not take us a week to be able to generate those ballot papers, even if there are 26 positions. Even if there are 26, it will not be so difficult.
All right. Just looking at the ODM politics generally, the recent scathing attack against Deputy President William Ruto by the chairman of the Council of Governors, Isaac Ruto, has been blamed on the opposition. In fact, we have Benjamin Langat, Ainamoi leader there, saying his remarks have something to do with the opposition, ODM, and it's basically preparing for 2017.
I think